Hello, internets. I just recently finished watching the most recent death battle between, I believe it was Mega Man and Astroboy, and I noticed some rather peculiar things going on during the fight scene. I'll just show you what I'm talking about and let the visuals speak for themselves. Alright, so after watching that, I can't help but notice there's some pretty major similarities going on. Without rehashing what we just saw, the only differences that I can actually see are Mega Man shooting that black hole type ability, and the fact that Astro Boy, after getting blown towards Mega Man, the fight continues. It doesn't end right there. So, throughout that entire sequence, it's pretty much mimicked from an old Flash animation that was released in 2004 on Newgrounds. I don't know if that was originally where it appeared, but that's where I seen it. The original author is El Cid. The actual animation title is Mega Man vs. Quickman. And yeah, so alright, so I'll try and explain what I take an issue with. For starters, I'm actually a fan of the Death Battle series. I quite enjoy the actual fights that they put out. I feel like they pair up random contenders together that normally wouldn't be pinned together, and I feel like they do a pretty good analysis on who they would ultimately think would win the outcome of the said fights. and the animation has been getting better from when they originally started. So it's overall it's pretty entertaining to watch. With that said, I guess what I take issue with is the pretty glaring fact of plagiarism going on. So I'll just start by saying there's nothing wrong with drawing inspiration from other artists or videos or what have you. That's pretty much been going on for ages now. So, the whole idea of a death battle isn't actually very original, but ScrewAttack brings their own personality to it, and they bring their own, set analysis and their own fight sequences, and overall what their take would be on the outcome of the fight. So that is what essentially makes them different. Yeah, so I don't actually know what goes on behind the scenes, so this is more or less speculation at this point, but I'm pretty sure that Ben and Chad don't really have much to do with the actual animation aspect of the actual show. I would assume that they would probably leave that creativity up to the animator that they've brought on for the show or assigned to the show, and then the animator is the one responsible for pretty much all of the fight choreography and the animation side of it. But that's just speculation at this point. So with that said, I would say probably most of the blame should be shifted to the animator or the person who masterminded the entire fight choreography for that particular sequence. But that shouldn't mean that none of the responsibility should solely lie with the animator. I mean, like, it's ScrewAttack's product and Death Battle's product. Like, they're putting their name on this content and they're the ones pushing it out. So, they're partly at fault for this as well. And overall, to be honest, I don't think this would actually be really much of an issue if they had just done something as simple as a special thanks, a tribute, or honorable mention in their credit sequence, or even in their description of the video. I know for me personally, will say if I was on the receiving end of it, that'd probably be pretty flattering if someone actually went out and drew that type of inspiration for some of the work I put out. But to not be recognized, that's more or less what I take issue with. Anyways, well, this wasn't really meant to be like a death battle type bashing web video. Even some of the most mainstream media shows out there have dropped the ball on that. Like, an example would be like South Park in doing the Inception episode. Creators had saw a video off of College Humor, and they didn't even really realize that when they wrote the show, they pretty much quoted the College Humor skit almost word for word. So it's not that it's completely uncommon, but I also think that the response equally is important as the offense, if you will. Yeah, so however they want to deal with it, it's up to them, or not deal with it. Doesn't really matter. I'm just more or less just pointing it out because it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I usually enjoy watching these videos, and then once I saw that particular sequence, I didn't even really care what the outcome was, which is something I look forward to at the end of all these death battle videos. So yeah. Anyways, that's about it. That's enough of my rant. You guys can do with it what you will, or not at all. That's all I pretty much needed to say, so I'll end it here. See you guys later.